And welcome everyone to my channel Insight. Today we will be discussing about Python data types. I welcome you all to my session and I hope it will be meaningful for you and we will continue to guide you further also with the related topics. When we talk about data types, what exactly a data type is? Generally, when we define any data, then we say the data has a nature. What nature we are talking about? Are we talking that data is some kind of number, or is it a name of someone? Or what exactly is data? And what does type reflect? In general programming terms, when we talk about any data type, we say a data type is an object or attribute which is associated with some piece of data that tells the computer system how to understand the value. Because if the value is not clear, the type of the data is not clear, the nature of the value is not clear, how the computer will able to understand what kind of operations it can and it will perform on the data. To understand it more, we have categorized, rather Python has categorized the types into various categories. The categories are numeric, text, boolean, sequence, set, mapping, none. Numeric in itself understand that something we are talking about numbers. If we say text, text means something which has digits, it has letter, it has some kind of special alphabets or some sort of special characters we are talking about. So everything which constitute of all the alphabet or a combination of alphabet like your password or something, we say it's a text and that is a string. Third type when we come to Boolean. So we give the possibility. It can happen, it cannot happen. Is it happening? Is it not happening? Something like this. So we will be discussing all the data types one by one. But what important for us beforehand is to understand what is a data. Anything or whatever we speak, read, write, and observe is data. Data can also be defined as factor information, which when stored can be used as a basis for decision making, calculation of decisions. Data comes in numerous form, may it be in numbers, text, pictures, sound, videos, etc. Is my name a data? Yes, it is. Is my channel's name a data? Yes, it is. My age is a data? Yes, it is. So let us go and see what are numeric data types. So earlier in the previous slide, I listed the types of numeric. We listed all the types and numeric was the first one. So numeric has three categories in it: int, float, and complex. What is an integer? What is int? Like in maths, you have read about numbers. Numbers which can be a positive number, which can be a negative number. A number, a whole number, which has a plus sign or a minus sign is termed as integer. We refer it by int. So any value which has such kind of signed value or unsigned value, the type is referred to as integer. And the number is a whole number. That has to be noticed. When we talk about floating point, then we say the numeric data type for numbers with fraction. Fraction means number is a real number. The number has decimal point. We have the number dot and then the decimal values. That number is called float. When we talk about complex value, then we have some real value and some imaginary value attached to it. We'll see and understand these data type with the help of example. But before, we need to understand these data types, we need to first understand numbers. We have listed a lot of examples in front of you. Like you can see the table in front of you, which is 23, 44, 45.3. A lot of numbers are listed. So my question to you is, how do you differentiate numbers? Is there any way? We just discussed in the previous slide, I gave you a few examples, and I want to ask you, how do you differentiate between two numbers? The very first example, we have number as 23. What do you think it is? Is it an integer, float, or complex? This is integer, a positive whole number. Come to 0, integer. 0.5, integer. Am I correct? No, it's float. 23, integer. 0, integer. 0.5, float. Minus 1, integer. 45.3, float. 5, integer. 23.06, float. 2306, integer. The number, there are bigger numbers also, all are integer. Then we have number minus 55.2. 55.2 is a real number, it's a fractional number. So a sign in front of it makes again it as float, because you have the decimal value. Again, the decimal value can be a positive number or it can be a negative number. Then you have 37.0. As soon as you have a decimal point, 0.0, 0.1 or range of values behind it, all the precision values, the number is called as float. Working with numbers in Python, how do we work with numbers in Python? In the very first example, if you see, we have x is equal to 10. X is equal to 10 means 10 is a integer data which is given to variable x. So by default, Python says that whenever you are assigning a value to any of the variable, the data type is automatically acquired. So when you are writing x is equal to 10, 10 means it's an integer value, and when it is going to x, the data type of x will become int automatically. The type will be acquired automatically. So please observe the output on the right hand side. When we are printing the value of x, it is displaying 10. Obviously the value of x stored in variable x is 10. And when we are displaying the type, it is displaying class int. So we can say x is the object of integer data type. It is storing value x and it is displaying class integer as the type of it. Come to the second example in which we say x is equal to 10.5. Now in this case, when I say 10.5, obviously we have just discussed before, 10.5 is a real number, fractional number. In this case, when we are writing 10.5, it is a float number. We say that x is automatically acquiring the type with respect to the data. So data is 10.5, the value of x is 10.5 and the type is automatically acquired, which should be float. When we are printing the value of x in this case, you can observe that we have 10.5 value getting displayed when we are printing x. And when we are printing the type x, you can see the class float is coming. That means x now, which is storing the value 10.5, is an object of type float. In the third case, you can see I have written x is equal to 10 plus 3j. Here, 10 is what? Real. And 3j is what? Imaginary. So when you write x is equal to real, you will get 10.0. And when you write imaginary, then it will write 3.0. So 10.0 in case of real and 3.0 in case of imaginary. So these are the function automatically associated with object complex. When you are assigning any value like 10.3j or 2.3j or 2.5j, so that type automatically gives the information that the value is of complex type and x will be created as an object or attribute of class complex. So because it is an object of class complex, we can apply the real property and the imaginary property, which gives me the uh, real part of the number and the imaginary part of the number. And while printing the type of X, it gives me class complex. We are now heading to next slide, visualizing text. So this is our second data type, visualizing text. What is a text? A, capital A, small a. This is a ball. Good day. abc@gmail.com. The address of someone like HNO 310/15 Badarpur. My name $#123 sounds like a password to me. Then C://downloads/abc, that means a URL. A location path locator is also an example of text. Then a name of a website is all text. So you can see a single alphabet written, a special character written separately, individually, or any combination of characters and digit. We say we are writing a text. Text. A text message is a text. The written work is a text. Your name or an option in an MCQ like ABCD, address, password, story, email, URL of a website, all are examples of text. How do we work with text in Python? When we work with text in Python, we use single quotes or double quotes. Double quotes you understand by the word, if I say in English, speech marks. If I say speech marks, then you have quotes before the sentence and after the sentence, speech marks. So the speech marks or single quotes or double quotes represents any value as text. So when I'm writing name is equal to single quotes ABC, that means I am assigning ABC, which is a text value, to variable name. So name will become an object of type string. str. str is a class which represents any combination, any alphabet or combination of alphabet, number, or special characters as text, as string. Email is equal to, now you can see the difference. In the previous example, I'm using single quotes, and in the second example, I'm using double quotes, which both are possible in case of Python. So email is equal to double quotes abc@gmail.com. And when we are printing the value of type email, you can see str is getting printed. So either you provide the value in single quotes or double quote, does not make any difference. Both represent the value string only.
This meeting is being recorded.
Coming to the next screen. Let's play a game. We have 3 pictures on the screen. And on the 3 pictures, I have just one question. Is this apple? Is this apple? The third picture, is this apple? So the 3 questions are in front of you. Please visualize the picture carefully. And we will be heading to our new screen, new slide on the basis of this question. If you say yes, on what basis you are saying it? What properties of apple do you know, which makes you say yes, the first picture is an apple, the second picture is not an apple, and third picture is an apple? So all this yes and no, how you are able to decide? Are we talking the properties of the fruit? Are we talking the color and shape of the fruit? What we are visualizing? On what basis we can answer this question that the given fruit in the pictures is an apple or not? So this kind of situation is dealt by one of the data type, that is Boolean in Python. So when I'm saying Boolean, what is happening? Any response which is expected comes in 2 forms. Either it is true or it is false. Either it is true or false. True represents the state when we say yes, and false represents the state where we say no. In the variable, you can see I have written like underscore fruits is equal to true. So true, the value of true is representing that I like fruits. I like fruits. True. True is a state which is being referred with the value true in which T is capital, R U E in small. In case of false, F is capital and A L S E is in small. So this value is going to like underscore fruits, which says that this value is now of type Boolean. So whenever you will print this value, it will just give the kind of response which is stored in it true. In this case, true means we are agreeing, yes, we like fruits. And when you are displaying type, you can see the class bool. So bool represents that we are now created a type of variable, a data type, which is representing any state which agrees or which does not agree. So if it agrees, we keep the value as true. If it is not agreeing, we keep the value as false. So in a previous example, is this apple in the very first picture where you can see my mouse pointer in this picture, is this apple true or false? It is true. In the second case, it is very difficult to differentiate because the color seems to be same, the shape almost seems to be same. We have the place of the seed, but the shape, the color, the size is different. That gives me the thought that this is probably not the apple. This is another fruit. So is this apple? I'm not talking much about it. True or false? It is false. Coming to the boy who is eating a fruit seems to be an apple. What makes me think that is an apple? That apple has seed in between. So this kind of property where you eat apple from all the sides and you have the stem inside with seeds in it. So this gives me the possibility that the boy is eating the fruit and this fruit is nothing but apple. So answer is true. Okay, a task for you. What is the task? I want you to prepare a list of fruits you like to eat. This is my first task. A list of fruits you like to eat. Any four, five, you can write anything for yourself. And then in the second part, I want you to prepare a list of names of students in your class who like watching cricket. Not difficult. You can do it easily. You can have three, four names. Not all students in your class might like watching cricket. There might be three, four. Note, preference changes. In this case, when you are preparing list of fruit, I say preference changes. If in a season, presently I like to eat mangoes, probably I will not like to eat mangoes in winters. There are some other fruits which I like grapes. So maybe there can also be a situation that presently I like eating grapes, but in future I don't like eating grapes. So my preference changed. So list is something which can be modified. Once created, once you have prepared a list, does not mean that it is forever. You can change it as per your wish. If your friends presently like watching cricket, but in future they don't, you can remove them. The list can be modified. And if more students start liking cricket, you can add the names. So what we say is when you prepare any kind of list, that list can change, means it can have new additions. The existing additions can be changed or they can be removed if not wanted. This kind of thing is worked upon with list in Python. So when we want to prepare list of something, we use the data type list, which is part of sequence. So I have an example for you where I've written choice is equal to, I have prepared a list of four fruits. Now to visualize it properly, please observe the list has four fruits and each fruit is a text. Apple is a text, banana is a text, cherry is a text, and mango is also a text. So this choice is a list which consists of 4 strings. How do I understand they are 4 string? Each value is separated by comma. You can see apple, which is enclosed in single quotes, separated by comma. Then I have banana enclosed in quotes, then comma, cherry, and then comma. So 3 commas differentiate my 4 values. When I print the choice, you can see the output on the right hand side where the list is getting displayed, and on displaying the type of choice, I get class list. So choice is an object of class list which is storing 4 string. Let's practice more. I hope you are able to understand what I'm telling you. If you still have queries, you can write on the chat box. Prepare a list of Asian countries. Asian countries, you might know the name. If you don't know the name, you can Google it and know. Prepare a list of Asian countries. In the second B part, I want you to prepare a list of mountains from highest peak to lowest peak. Now, my question to you is, when we are preparing list of Asian countries, are the names changing? Like in the previous example, we prepared a list of choice of fruits. Fruit preference can change, liking of the cricket, people liking cricket can change, but name of Asian countries, can it change? It can be removed, but can it be changed? Now, list of mountains from highest to lowest peak. Highest peak mountains. Mountain doesn't change frequently. The highest is highest, the lowest is lowest. It is not changing. Such kind of thing. Such kind of thing, we say, are maintained in Python in the data type called tuple. Tuple, wherein we are writing the data which cannot be modified later. Whatever is in the tuple cannot be modified later. So tuple is identified when you are using a round bracket. In case of list, if I go back, you can see the list, the type is differentiated by the bracket. We are using square bracket in case of list, but when we are designing a tuple, we are using parenthesis. We are using round bracket. So when you see round bracket and the values, it means you have a tuple. And if you have square bracket, that means you have a list. So on printing countries, you will see the tuple of values. And on printing the type of countries, you can see class tuple. Observe this. What do you see in this gradient shade of green and blue? Rock, paper, scissor, paper, rock, scissor, scissor, rock, paper. So what I see is repetition of 3 words, rock, paper, scissor. They are being repeated in this green box frequently. So question is, which are the unique value you can find in the above section? The unique values are rock, paper, and scissor. These are the 3 unique values here on this gradient part. Rock, paper, scissor. So when we say a list, kind of in a list of duplicate values, if you wish to find unique values, if you just want to have the unique values, we create a set. The set is differentiated by, again, the kind of bracket we are using, that is curly braces. In list, we use the square bracket. In tuple, we use the parenthesis round bracket. And in case of set, we are using curly bracket. So any set of values provided inside the curly bracket becomes set of values. It becomes a set of values. So we can say game is what? It is an object of type set. On printing of game, I will get the unique values out of the set of values. It can have any number of duplicate values, but when we will print the game, it will give me all the unique values. This is class set.
Let us look at an example here. We have four sectors: 15, 16, 17, and 18. Now, 15 sector has four house numbers: 101, 102, 103, and 104. Similarly, 16, 17, 18 also have house number associated with them. In this example, we say there are four sectors: 15, 16, 17, and 18. Sector 15 has house number 101, 102, 103, 104, or we can say a house number 101 is in sector 15. Similarly, it is same for other sectors as well. If I say house number 3 is in sector 17, then if I refer to sector number 104, which is in sector number 18, I have to make this difference visible, that 104 is available in 15 also, 104 is available in 18 also. Which 104 I'm referring to? So with the help of 15 or 18, I can refer to 104 as in 104 of sector 18 or 104 of sector 15. So we conclude by saying that houses are associated with sectors. So this calls a new learning of a new data type, that is dictionary in Python. So what is the concept of dictionary here? The time when we design a dictionary, we have a key and we have value. As we saw in our previous example, that 15 is representing house number 101, 102, 103, and 104. So I can say that 15 is the key to all the house numbers. Similarly, I can say 16 is the key to a list of house numbers. Now, this set of data type where we have the key value, that is dictionary. Dictionary is also enclosed or designed in curly braces like we designed sets. But what is the difference between sets and dictionary? In the sets, if I take back you to the example, you can see we have given the list of values and there is no colon kind of thing we have put it here. We have just listed the values, and the values can be numeric, it can be float, means numeric, integer, float, or complex, or it can be text, it can be list, it can be any type within the set, but it picks up the uniqueness. There is key value pattern here. But if I come to dictionary, you will see that 15 is representing all the house numbers, 16 is representing all the house numbers. The time you print this sector, now sector becomes a dictionary in which 15, we have two keys. 15 is the key and 16 is the key. 15 has four values, 16 has four values associated to it. The time you print sector, you will see in the output area that how a dictionary is getting printed. This is the whole dictionary which is getting printed. And the time we are writing type of sector. So you can see sector is an object of class dictionary. So whatever a dictionary data type can do in Python, that all can be referred by sector, as sector is one of the object of class dictionary. Let's come to the last data type, that is none. What does it mean when Python says none? None in Python represents the absence of a value or a null value. Null is what? They can be any junk value, like we allocate memory to the variable when we are defining it. So at that time, if we are not specifying any value, all we are giving is a junk value to the variable, which does not make sense. To make it more sensible, we keep it, we can keep it none, or we can provide a some value like that. So that's all for the session for today. So I'll see you in the next video.